What is minimalism? Do you get to join the minimalism club when you own only 50 belongings? When you settle on one signature outfit to wear every single day? Or when you finally realize that you don't really need a bed or a couch, you can just sleep on the floor? Well, that's a perfectly fine variation of minimalism. Minimalism is simply a way of thinking that emphasizes less is more, and that owning more stuff, doing more things, knowing more people isn't necessarily better. By removing things from our lives, we make room for what's important. Now, by some standards, I am a far cry from a minimalist. I own too many clothes and don't wear a lot of them. I have lots of knickknacks with no practical purpose. They're just there for aesthetics. And I keep random photography props stashed under my bed. But hey, at least I listen to the Minimalist podcast. But the ways in which I have chosen to apply minimalism to my life have greatly improved it. It's important to remember that minimalism isn't all or nothing. Each minimalist change that you make to your life is a step in the right direction. So you don't have to throw away a certain percentage of what you own before you can call yourself a minimalist. You can call yourself a minimalist right now. Here's your minimalist badge. I hereby declare you a minimalist. Congratulations. Anyways, these are 10 minimalist habits that keep my life simple, my mind clearer, and my heart happier. I shiver when I see people's inboxes with hundreds of unopened emails. Like, what if you missed something important? So I like to get to inbox 0 by the end of each day, which just means that I've ideally responded to, or at the very least opened all of my messages and emails. And if I can't get to it right then, I mark it as read and it's taken care of for now. When my inbox consistently stays in the low range, I just feel more on top of things rather than feeling like I'm drowning in all the messages that I need to respond to. It's amazing how much these folders can fill up for me. I take lots of screenshots, download lots of stuff when I'm making videos, and at the end of the week, one of the most satisfying things is to just select it all and put it in the trash. Not only does this take just a few seconds, but when I start the next week with a tidy computer, it's much easier to find what I'm currently working on. Recently, every time I check to see how long it took me to complete my morning routine, it's a solid 45 minutes, give or take like 2 minutes, but I've gotten really good at having a uniform morning and evening routine that I've perfected to include exactly what I need to start and end my day, and the beauty of it is that it's exactly the same every day, so I hardly need to think about it, and as a result, I have more mental space. There's nothing complicated about the way that I track income and expenses. I have a video all about that if you want to watch, but the point is that I update it daily. So by now it's like a second nature habit that's just part of my bedtime routine, and so my record is always accurate. I'm never wondering if I forgot to record something I bought because I only have to think about that day's transactions, and usually I can remember that far back. I have just one magazine holder for all of my important papers and then a folder for each category, like stuff from the eye doctor, personal bank account, business bank account, product warranties and manuals, etc. Once in a while, I'll go through everything in here and throw away what's no longer important, and this makes it easy to find exactly what I need when I need it. I used to hold on to so much stuff for the sake of memories, and now I've just had like a complete 360 or a 180, I guess. Many people would say that I throw away too much, but I'll tell you this, I have never regretted throwing something away. Not once have I thought, oh wow, man, I really wish I still had that lumpy pottery project from 4th grade to look at and reminisce about the good old days. Without objects from my past weighing me down, I feel lighter and more free to move on to bigger and better things in my future. According to the Getting Things Done system by David Allen, there are 2 categories of stuff that you'll find in your workspace: what belongs there permanently and what is in transit and incomplete. So permanent objects include supplies, reference material, decoration, and equipment, while the in-transit stuff is something that, for example, you need to make a decision about, you need to file away in the right place, or like a sticky note with a to-do reminder. And he recommends putting all of those in-transit items into one in-tray. I just use the lid of a box from IKEA, it works, so anything that doesn't have a home goes there, and that way I know exactly what I need to take action on. Whenever I feel like my followed list on Instagram is getting cluttered, I go through and I just mass unfollow. And I feel kind of bad saying this because I'm also, trying to build something on Instagram, but the same applies to you watching this. If you no longer get value from what I create, if it doesn't inspire you, cheer you up, please unfollow me. I don't want to have a negative impact, and that's the same thing that I'm trying to avoid when I cut down the list of people that I follow. Honestly, these days, my room just isn't really messy unless I'm filming something and have to completely destroy it like I did today. But in the day-to-day, I've gotten so used to putting things away as I use them that when I officially tidy up my room at the end of the week, there's hardly anything for me to do. When I'm working, for example, and I take a 5-minute break, I'll look around and see what in my room I can put back where it belongs, and poof, I'm back to having a clean space. As a productivity YouTuber, I am pretty much always thinking about how to do more. There's a lot more I could be doing. I could be meal prepping, planning out my workouts, watching more documentaries, learning how to play the ukulele. But actually, I realized that I'm okay with what I'm currently doing. I think I've got a lot of good habits and projects going, and I'm choosing to keep my life simple by not piling on other things unnecessarily, just for the sake of doing more or doing what everyone else is doing. So those are my 10 minimalist habits. I hope this kind of shows how minimalism really can impact a lot of areas of your life. It's not just about decluttering your closet or stuff like that. It's also about decluttering your mental space and your emotional space. So I hope you enjoyed this video, maybe found some ideas for minimalist habits that you want to incorporate into your life. Remember that starting with one habit or decluttering just one item leads you to making more and more changes, so you just have to start. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week. Bye!